This is Starry Ari's ASMR. I am Ari, and today I have my April meal calendar here because I would like to erase this and start my May meal calendar. And I can't believe that it's already May. I feel like it's a really cheesy thing to say, but it's true. So I like to do a meal calendar every month, and I have done many videos with me doing my meal calendars. So I will link that playlist if you're interested. But this is just something that my husband and I like to do just for us. It just makes dinner planning so much easier. We don't have to sit down and think about it every day or every week. It's already done for us. We just kind of brainstorm some meals. So we've already done that. And then I just kind of sit down and figure out, where we want those. And then maybe kind of place some other meals as we need them. We had a pretty busy April because I started a new job. And I feel like that's just always kind of a busy, hectic time. And we ended up kind of moving around a lot of meals. We ended up not needing some meals. So I think some of those I might move to May. For example, our fried rice. We did have fried rice originally on the April calendar. I don't remember exactly where. But we ended up not needing it. And so I think that I definitely want that in May. But we did have some good meals, and overall a pretty good month, but just like I said, pretty busy. So our system is usually to do a meal, and then usually we do a fend for yourself night. So that's what FFY stands for. And then sometimes we'll do another meal right after. Most of the time we do, just one fend for yourself night. But here you can see we had leftovers here, and then we ended up going out to eat on this Friday. And then we had leftovers from our restaurant meals on Saturday. And so it just kind of worked. And so that's kind of our calendar system. It works well for us. We love leftovers, and we love to make. If we're already cooking, we might as well make more than just a 2-person serving of something, which is really easy to do when there are only 2 of us, and we can make, a 4 or 6-person serving meal and then have leftovers from that. And you can also see that we had some little drawings. I think we were going to do something on this side of the grass, but we ended up not. So the first thing I need to do is erase the April calendar. And I'm just going to use this dry paper towel. And I'm just going to go ahead and wipe this clean. And erase our nice little spring drawing. Kind of have fun and just do little doodles up on the top, whatever we're feeling like that kind of fits the month. It is nice to be kind of fully in spring and coming up to the summer, because summer is my favorite season. And we have already had quite a warm spring. This week has been quite warm in the upper 70s, and then the next few days it's going to be in the upper 80s. Alright, this is nice and clean. And now I can go ahead and start filling out the month of May. just going to write May up here in the month section. And now I can fill out the dates, and May starts on the Friday. I was going to say on the 1st. Of course it starts on the 1st. It starts on a Friday. And then I just like to fill out the little dates up in the top left-hand corner like this. I do love to fill out the new meal calendars because it just always feels like a good fresh start. And then May does have 31 days. So what I'm going to do is just split this box in half, and I'm just going to write 31, just like that. And then we have our full month filled out. So the next thing I'm going to do is fill in any dates that we are planning on being gone, or that we know that we have events or things like that. And we actually are going to be gone this weekend here because this is Mother's Day. So we're going to be traveling to go see our moms. So I'm going to put a little mark on those days, and I'm just going to write gone. And then I extend it to the day that we're coming back, just because I think that is a little bit easier for me to just kind of quickly like see it. And then, let's see. And then this weekend here is Memorial Day weekend, and we are actually planning on going camping. So I'm gonna mark those days that we're gonna be gone as well. And then, yeah, we're coming back on that Monday. I love long weekend camping trips because you end up having more time to actually enjoy camping rather than setting up one day, having one day to enjoy it, and then tearing down the next day. Like, you get at least 2 days to enjoy it. So I love camping. Very excited for that. And then, let's see, I think my husband has a work dinner on the 27th that we're going to. So I don't want to plan a meal on that day. I'm going to just put fun for yourself for now. And then, oh, my husband also is going to have a really late, it's like a work session on the 12th. So I'm going to do a fun for yourself because I am invited to the work dinner. I'm not. This is like a work thing. So that one he's going to be gone, so I'll just have leftovers or like make myself a sandwich or something. Okay, and I think that we have everything filled out for May for when we're going to be gone, when we have plans. So I'm going to go ahead and start filling out our meals. And the first meal, I'm actually filming this on Saturday, so we've already done Friday. And the first meal that we did was balsamic chicken wraps. And this is one of our good, easy, kind of quick meals. We just make up some kind of seasoned rice and we cook some chicken in the Instant Pot. And then we have wraps and balsamic vinegar and roasted red bell peppers, sun-dried tomatoes, kind of anything we're wanting to throw in that. And then it's just in a wrap and it's really, really tasty, but super quick and easy. And then we probably will have some leftovers. We do still have some leftover rice and chicken, so I think tonight we're going to do fun for yourself. And then on Sunday, on the 3rd, I think I might do our rigatoni with sausage and peas. And we usually top that with feta cheese, but that's in this recipe book here. Let me try and find it. There we go. It's the easy rigatoni with sausage and peas. This one is really tasty. It's super simple. You can pretty much just like dump everything in the Instant Pot after cooking the sausage and garlic. And it's really good. It makes a ton. I have frozen this before and reheated it and it came out good. So we definitely really like this one. So I'm going to do that on the 3rd. So I'm going to do the rigatoni. With sausage and peas. We'll do that on the 3rd. We 100% will have leftovers on the 4th. And then I honestly think we might even have leftovers enough for the 5th. So I might do just a fend for yourself. And if not, we usually have some, frozen stuff in the freezer. We do actually still have some frozen chili that I could pull down, and we have like a boxed cornbread mix that I could have that night if we need to. And then I was saying we didn't do our fried rice in April. I do really want to do that in May, and I'm going to do that here. Fried rice on the 6th. And we will be able to have some leftovers on the 7th, which is good because we will be traveling for that next weekend. So it's not like we'll have leftovers just kind of sitting in the fridge going to waste. And then we are coming back on the 10th, but I think I still just want to do a fend for yourself. We're not planning on coming back until I think a little bit later in the day. And I do not see us wanting to cook. So we'll do a fend for yourself and we'll just kind of figure out what we want. And then here on the 11th, I want a shrimp meal because I don't think we ended up doing a shrimp meal in April and I love shrimp so much. So I'm going to do our shrimp Alfredo. I think my marker is dying. I think I need a new one for next month. So I'm going to do the shrimp Alfredo, and my dog is snoring so loud in the background. It's better than her pacing around panting. But we have been messing around with a lactate Alfredo sauce, and we're really enjoying it so far because my husband's lactose intolerant. I say it every video. So we usually try and do like lower dairy or at least low lactose meals. And we've kind of worked out a really good Alfredo sauce. And I really want to do shrimp fettuccine Alfredo. So we're going to do that on the 11th. My husband's going to be working on the 12th late. And I'll just have my shrimp Alfredo leftovers. I'm going to be very happy with that. And then here on the 13th, it's a Wednesday. I think I want our taco salads. We haven't done taco salads in what feels like forever. This used to be a pretty good staple for us, and then for some reason we just kind of haven't done it in a while. So we're going to do taco salads on the 13th, and we do have some leftovers from that. So we'll do a fun for yourself on the 14th. On the 15th here, my husband really wanted sausage mac. And this one is just super simple. It's kind of like chili mac, except we don't use chili. We use, andouille or smoked sausage. And then we add usually like air fried broccoli, so it's a little bit crispy, and onion, and we do the Diet mac and cheese, so it's dairy free, and it's just tasty, not particularly healthy, but we can pretend it is because we have air fried broccoli. So we'll do that on the 15th, and we do usually have some leftovers from our sausage mac. Do Fend for Yourself on the 16th. And then on the 17th, thinking we really wanted to do breakfast for dinner, and it's just one of our good favorites. I love breakfast food, but we never really make big breakfasts at breakfast time. We usually just kind of do Fend for Yourself at breakfast time. And so for breakfast for dinner, what we were thinking this month is that we would get bacon, because usually we don't really get like a meat on the side or something. Usually we do pancakes or waffles or French toast, and then usually like scrambled eggs or something on the side. And I think this month we were talking about getting bacon so that we could then do BLTs and baked potatoes this week, because we're kind of going to be pretty busy at work and also prepping for our camping trip. So I'm going to do BLTs on the 18th, and then I'm going to build in a Fend for Yourself day here in case we have any leftover kind of breakfast or BLT stuff. And then we think we're going to do baked potatoes here, because these are super simple and easy to do, easy to throw together, and we usually make enough that we can have one more night of leftover baked potatoes, but not like too many leftovers that again they would go to waste during that weekend. So I think that might be a good plan for that week. They're really simple, easy, quick meals, and it'll just make it so much easier as we're prepping for camping. And then we're going to be camping, which I'm so excited about. I've already said I love camping. And we usually end up having some leftover camping food, like hot dogs or, just kind of whatever snacky stuff that we bought for camping. So I think I'm going to do a Fend for Yourself day on the 25th, because it is always just tiring coming home after camping and you have to wash everything and put everything back in the garage, and it's just a whole thing. I can't imagine us wanting to cook. And if we're gonna have like leftover hot dogs and stuff, we could just like quickly heat those up, on the stove, and it'll be fine. So we'll do that on the 25th. And then on the 26th here, let's see, my husband really wanted to do DIY pizzas. I don't think we've done that in a couple months. And we do love DIY pizzas, and it kind of scratches that like pizza itch, like that craving, but it's a bit healthier than if we got, like if we ordered pizza. So we're going to do DIY pizzas on the 26th. My husband has that work dinner on the 27th. We're going to the 28th. I just want something kind of quick and simple, and we keep pushing this. I'm going to put our tilapia and veggies, and it's kind of becoming a running joke now because we keep not doing tilapia and veggies, because I purposefully plan it on days where we need something quick, we need something easy like this, and so sometimes those days we just, we have extra leftovers, or we end up just wanting to order something, which we don't do too often, but it keeps falling on our tilapia and veggies day. And for this, I just have frozen tilapia, frozen veggies, so it's, we can keep pushing it and it's fine. And so this is just what keeps getting removed off of the calendar. So I'm going to put it on our calendar again. We'll see if we actually do the tilapia and veggies this month. And we don't really have too many leftovers from that. Usually I might have it for like lunch the next day, but that's usually kind of it. So I do want to plan a meal on the 29th, and let's see, there was one more meal that my husband wanted, and it was our pork carnitas tacos. And this was actually a HelloFresh meal that we got, and we've just kept the recipe card for, but we tried HelloFresh like, I don't know, 2019, 2020, I think, and we liked it. I thought it was pretty good. We also tried Blue Apron, but we had gotten like free trials for them, and so we didn't like continue the trials. But this was one that we got and we make pretty frequently, and we really like it. So we're gonna do the pork carnitas tacos on the 29th, and that does definitely give us some leftovers for the 30th. And then I just need one more meal here on the 31st. And I am thinking I'm gonna fill in a meal that I've been really craving, and this is our pasta vinaigrette. And this is a meal I've talked about before because I don't know if it's called that or if anyone else calls this meal that or what, but this is something my family used to do growing up, and we all would have to help because there are so many veggies involved. And so all of us kids would be like helping prep the veggies, and it was just like a very family oriented meal where we all had to pitch in. And so we use like rainbow rotini, and then we get smoked sausage, like Polish sausage, bell peppers, celery, radishes, carrots. My husband and I add an onion, but my family didn't because my mom's allergic to onion. And we just like saute all the veggies and the meat and cook up the pasta, and then we serve it with the zesty Italian dressing. And I love to sprinkle some cheddar cheese on the top of mine. My husband leaves his out, but it is a very prep intensive meal, and so I do feel like it's a good weekend meal to do because, you know, sometimes you just don't really want to do a super prep heavy meal on like a weekday after you just finished a long day at work. So I think planning it for a Sunday is going to be our best bet, but that will also give us a couple of days of leftovers, so that will be pretty nice. I think that is our May meal calendar all filled out. I'm just going to double check and look over some things. I did kind of add in a couple of extra, fend for yourself days here and there, just because in May we ended up just removing a lot of meals because we were just so busy, and I think this month is also going to be really busy, which I'm excited for. It's like the end of spring and the beginning of summer are usually really busy times where lots of things are happening, and it's usually very exciting, and I just love this time of year, and I'm very much looking forward to summer. We have some fun plans coming up in the summer, but for now, looking at May, there's also some exciting trips. I'm gonna take my mom to go see The Devil Wears Prada 2 for Mother's Day weekend when we're there. I think we're maybe gonna watch the first one and then go see the second one Saturday night. We'll see. I love The Devil Wears Prada. So we're excited for that, and we're going to take my mother-in-law out to brunch, and then of course our camping weekend. We always do a camping trip over Memorial Day weekend, and last summer that ended up being the only weekend that we went camping. And I so wanted to go camping again during the summer, but we were just way too busy, had way too many plans, and it just never worked out. So I always like to make sure that we can plan ahead for our Memorial Day camping trip, and that way we at least get one camping trip during the season. So that is put together my new meal calendar. I always like to mention that I'm always looking for new meals, new recipes. If there's something that you really, really like or your family really likes that you always kind of make, I'd love to hear about it. We have a very long running list of, it's like a meal master list of meals that we regularly make. And so usually when we're brainstorming, we just kind of scroll through that and pick out some things if we need some inspiration. So I'm always looking for new meals to try so that we can add to our list. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you have a wonderful